What's going on, guys and gals? Chris, Bonafide Hustler, coming to you live from the inside of my office, and today is basically a Road to 200 video where I show you in 2 hours today when I was going thrifting. I'll show you what I found. So basically, that's what the video is all about. And yeah, we're gonna get kind of right to the finds here in 1 second. But anyways, this is gonna definitely go into my Road to 200 playlist. So definitely check that playlist out. At the end of the video, there'll be some stuff to go check out that playlist. But if you can go to my channel on YouTube and you can see all the playlists that I created. But this one specifically is gonna land in the Road to 200 playlist. Anyways, so Road to 200 to me is basically my quest this year to get to 200 really quality, high quality, amazing listings that pay $50 or more in pure profit each time that I sell them. And I'm trying to target a 20 to 30% sell-through rate. I really think it's the way to go. Rather than go with like mass quantities of listings and all that kind of stuff, I'd much rather keep it really super tight, something that can be run definitely out of like maybe half of a garage, like on a wall. And yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun to pursue that quest for the entire year. So that's what I'm doing. As of, I think yesterday I was at 160 listings, but really with 20 or 30 that need to be pulled out that don't really agree with Road to 200. I think I'm somewhere around the 130 mark. So anyways, picked up some stuff today. We went thrifting for 2 hours. This is what I found to sell on eBay. So let's go right to it. It's gonna be kind of a shorter video. No real particular order, but I'm going to show you what my brother and I picked up because, I'm on Road to 200. He's just, if he can make a quick 20 bucks on something, he's all about it. So this is one of the things that he picked up, and he's sold actually a fair amount of these things. This is called a Perplexus Epic right here, and he says this one is about $25 to $27. I believe he spent like $1 or $2 on it. With a discount, about $3 actually. So he's going to send this one off when it sells. He's going to play with it. But these are basically like marble mazes, and you can kind of see like the marble going around on the bottom right there. Yeah, so there we go. And apparently it's like super, super hard to get this marble to go through, or this little steel ball to go through all the little pieces. And they're all numbered, and it shows you which way that the thing has to proceed. Anyways, there's a bunch of different ones of this, but he's actually sold some upwards of 30, 35 bucks. So there you go right there. It's a Perplexus. So we went to thrift stores today for 3 hours. 2 hours, sorry, 2 hours. We went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we went to like five or six stops. One of those stops was a pawn shop. And at the pawn shop, there was, oh man, there's a drone that I'm hoping like in 2 or 3 months is still there because, man, this drone has like $1,000 profit written all over it. But anyways, I don't even know if I would sell that on eBay. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting because it kind of came out like a month ago. So, but I'm pretty stoked about it. But anyways, okay, so let's talk about the next find right here. I don't know which one to show you guys first. I have the remote, and let me show you the remote. And the battery's charging right now, actually. So I went to a thrift store here in Austin called Texas Thrift Store. It's not the greatest thrift store, but it hasn't been the greatest thrift store. But a lot of times when I go there, I find radio-controlled stuff, and it's kind of weird. But I've found so many old ones from there. And this one in here, this is not old. This is a little bit more current day. But this is made by Radio Shack. This is basically a tractor pulling RC. Anyway, it's got low gear, high gear, big wheels in the back, small wheels on the front. And apparently this thing does a lot of wheelies, but big deal. It's mass-produced radio-controlled stuff. Has sounds as well. The battery goes in the top compartment right there. And I really think this is going to probably sell for somewhere around $70 or $80 because I do have the remote control. I have the original battery. I got everything goes with it, and it looks like it's barely used. I mean, honestly, I don't even know. It might have been charged a couple times, and that's it. So it's got that nice, glistening sheen to it. None of the stuff is faded. It doesn't look like it's hit any walls or anything like that. I mean, it just looks like brand new, honestly. So we'll see what comes of this one, but I bought this one for $6.50. I really do think, it totally aligns with my Road to 200 strategy. If I sell it for around 70 to 80, I'll definitely walk with right around $50 in pure profit. So that's that right there. I got 31 viewers in the house. Thanks for joining the program. It's going to be a little bit shorter program today, but I definitely wanted to show you guys these things before I get them, get the pictures shot, and I get them in boxes, because that's what I do. The Road to 200 thing is basically me with the quest of 200 items, and once I show you guys these items on the computer, I mean, they're basically, the pictures are shot after that, and then they're going into boxes. And I don't really ever see those items again until the day that they sell, in which case I just pull the box down, I weigh it, and then, print a label, and off it goes. So essentially, this is the only time that we really get to see it. This is the last time we get to see it. And then it's pretty much out of the picture. So that's kind of one of those things. The reason why I do these shows is to not only kind of teach you guys about what to find, but you know, it's about the why. Like, why am I popping on these items? And it's definitely one of those things. It's a project that I want to do in 16 hours or less a week, eking out somewhere around 2 to 3 grand in pure profit. So I really don't want to ever excel 16 hours a week. I don't think I even get close to that, honestly. So, but that's kind of like the whole mentality behind the Road to 200. So, you know, probably 3 days a week where I go for 2 hours, I would think. I mean, maximum 3, but really it's only like 2. It's called a hot shot. That's what I call it. It's when you really get a nice, concise route going on, so you can just hit thrift stores real quick. So here in Austin, Texas, maybe I'm lucky and I got some of these. I can make a route that has pawn shops, thrift stores, and random other places. And I can do, in 2 hours, I could probably make 5 to 6 quality stops and make it really quick. So that's what I'm into business for. Like, I'm not into the business for spending all day thrifting or anything like that. But, you know, I probably get, you know, 2 hours, 3 times a week or 4 times a week out there. And then it takes some time to shoot the pictures, right? It takes a little bit of time to box the items. So for every 2 hours that I go out, there might be 30 minutes or an hour for prep, something like that. So we're looking at about 9 hours. And then in the weekends, I go garage selling, but that's kind of for everything. I go garage selling for Amazon stuff. I go garage selling for eBay stuff. I go garage selling for local sell kind of stuff. And so it's kind of hard to, you know, figure out like what part of that number goes towards the Road to 200 as well. But I know I'm not, you know, I told myself 16 hours max. I think I'm somewhere around like that 12 to 14 hours right now. And that's pretty good. So, you know, my quest is to really get as close to 3 grand as I can for like somewhere between, if I can get to no more than 16 hours a week, that's what I really want to do. And I really urge you guys to think about that kind of mentality and apply it to your eBay store and cut down on inventory really, and just, you know, hold out for the good stuff. So anyways, we got people in the house. We got Texas Scout Treasures in the house. Eric's in the house. Michael Razzo's in the house. Adam, Lynn Dixon, and Aaron Kluge. What is up, peeps? Fireside One. All right, so yeah, it's the Cheddar crew. They're all in here, man. The same people. Let's talk about something else. I'll just show you this. Doesn't matter. My brother's gonna make $5 on this. This is gonna go to Amazon. So we bought it for $1.99. After all said and done, fees and everything, this will give him like $5. He doesn't really care. You take $2 and convert it into $5. I mean, that's not that bad, right? Considering all you have to do is just put a sticker on it. Actually, on that one, you only have to put a sticker on it. So you just throw it into a box. Okay, what to show you next? Because there's some really good ones here. So through these next 3 items, and there is a 4th item that is not here. It's too big. We took it in a truck bed down to my antique booth. Upon walking into a Savers today, we saw these really cool, like green, kind of like high back chairs, a little bit wing style, wing back, but we bought them and they were $50 a piece. I had a 30% off coupon. So out the door for 2 chairs with tax, and they're full blown like solid wood. They look like they've been recently upholstered, or they just had perfect upholstery. So that was one of the other things that we factored into our decision. We bought them for $75. We threw them in the back of my brother's truck. We immediately went to the antique booth and we dropped them off, tagged them up, boom, gone. So, hey, what's up, Jonathan Rivera? Man, I got some of the best freaking subs and fans ever. Look at this, like $5 for Bonafide beer money. So I think tonight I'm gonna go get maybe some Indian food with my friend, and I will get a beer on Jonathan Rivera. 1 brewski for Bonafide. Thank you so much. You know, honestly, some of the beers here in Austin, Texas are, I'm gonna have to go to a cheap place and get one, because you can get a beer here in Austin, Texas, and sometimes it's like $6 or like $8. It's crazy. And if it's a craft beer, like, dude, it gets kind of pricey. But $5, that's gonna, you know, I can get me 2 Lone Stars here in Austin, Texas at the right place, but it'll typically get me 1 beer, and that's pretty good. I can do 1 beer, and I'm not really like a big drinker kind of guy, but yeah. After I'm done with beers, I go to doppio modes and I do coffees and all that kind of stuff. And I really don't drink that much, but I do like a decent beer. So thank you so much, Jonathan. That is super awesome of you. Okay, what to show you next? We have 2 bags to show you, all right? 2 bags to show you and a pair of shoes. And keep in mind that we did tag up those 2 chairs that we found from Savers. We put them in the booth for, I put them in the booth for not, how much? $189 a piece, but I have a 50% off sale going on my booth right now. So 95 minus $9.50 and like all this stuff. I'm trying to figure out, they would cut me a check for 85 on each one. I'm into each one for like 36-ish, something like that. So you can kind of see how the Road to 200 is playing in my head while I'm still doing other stuff too. It's like I want to get this $50 mark on like everything. So yeah, we're ready to drop those things off. I think these chairs might survive 1 or 2 weeks in my antique booth. So that was the play. It was like a really quick flip. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. So let's talk about the next ones. I don't know what to show you guys first because they're all super cool. I'm gonna show you something that's a little bit more of like an under the radar bolo. Okay, so you know, sometimes you see shoes like this, you know, like big deal. It just looks like freaking shoes, and they're Pearl Izumi shoes. Like, okay, big deal. Pearl Izumi is a good brand that has to deal with cycling. You can hear my dogs barking. But these particular shoes are called X Alp, and X Alp shoes they just have like a really good following to them. In fact, I can personally, on a firsthand experience, like tell you that these shoes are really good because this is what I ride in, right? I have a pair of these, and it's so weird to go to a Goodwill and see a pair of these for $10 out the door, okay, that are my size, that are basically mint again. And mine have been used to no end. They've been to like all these cool states. They've been to like some of the coolest, I mean, mountain biking tracks and parks in America. And they're still holding up, and they're still in perfect condition, but not in perfect condition, but they're getting pretty beat up. What I like about the X Alp series is they have this like almost armored, rubberized, like really thick rubber thing going around the edge of the shoe, like all the way around, kind of similar to like a Scarpa shoe, which is a mountaineering light use kind of shoe, or what is it called, light duty type shoe. So I really like that about this shoe because a lot of mountain bike shoes that you find, I mean, a lot of the expensive ones, and these are kind of expensive too. Like on the market, these are going to be about $100 or $110. But a lot of mountain biking shoes are going to be made by CD and Giro and Bontrager, and they're awesome and they're streamlined. They're probably going to be lighter than this. But the problem is when you get off your mountain bike, and some, you know, a lot of times on trails when there's a lot of rock and chunk, is what they call it, chunky stuff. You want to have a shoe that kind of feels like a shoe. You don't want a shoe that kind of feels like a rail. And so that's like the drawback with some of these other shoes, and they're definitely like twice the price of this. I personally like riding in shoes that once I clip out of my mountain bike pedals, that I can just go walk around. I can get a pizza, I can get some beer, I can just chill out, or I can even just walk my bike down a really treacherous part of the trail and not think like I'm going to kill myself, because some of these other shoes, they just don't have that much grip on the bottom. So anyways, these are Pearl Izumi X Alp. They make X Alp 1, X Alp 2s. And these are my size 47, which is a men's 12. And I could probably sell these for anywhere between, honestly, like $60 or $80, I think, because these are definitely one of the Gen 1 models, which are a little bit more sought after. So pretty cool right there. And they're in like mint condition. I mean, literally perfect condition. There's nubs on nubs. Anytime that you see a mountain bike cycling shoe, and a lot of times you can, if you're wondering like, what the hell is a cycling shoe? Like, how can I tell a cycling shoe from a normal shoe? Is because you just look underneath and you see the little holes right here. And typically with a mountain biking shoe, you're going to have what's called a 2-bolt pattern, 2 or 4 hole bolt pattern. And it's really important on the drop down menu in eBay to know that, because people want to know whether it's compatible with their certain types of cleats. So these right here have what's called an SPD cleat system, and it goes to a specific pedal, which is on the mountain bike. So essentially you step right in, and it locks you into the bike. The bike and you are one thing now. And so every kind of upstroke that you do is more power into the bike. Problem is when you wreck, and you wreck hard, the bike wrecks with you. Like, it just follows you usually. And it can really compound an injury pretty quickly. But anyways, I still like riding with clips. They're really good for especially uphill kind of stuff too. So if you have some downhills with some uphills and you want to have a really fun day, you want to go 3 hours on the bike, you know, probably going to want to definitely get into some clips. So yeah. So when you hear that talk from mountain bikers, like you ride clipless, you ride clipped, like that's kind of what they're talking about. All right, so now you got educated on some Pearl Izumi X Alps. Great shoe. I'm telling you, if you find this thing, they make it for women too. So although the women's market on X Alp is not as high as the men's market, just so you guys know, or women know. We got Lung in the feed. What's up? I'm finally in the feed. What's up, Bonafide? Good to see ya. All right. 125 with free shipping. I don't know. I mean, someone take a look at X Alp. I'm pretty sure the last time I looked at X Alps, I mean, it's like you couldn't even get a size 12 unless you went on Amazon, and they were like $100 or $110. They might be more now, but those are X Alp Gen 1s though. So like those are kind of like their first attempt at making like a mountain biking shoe, or not, that's not their first attempt, but that's their first really successful attempt at it. And it is an amazing shoe. Like I'll just say it, I ride the piss out of my shoes. I freaking love them, and they're so good. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to sell those, because that's that's the thing that goes on in my head is if and when, because it's a matter of time before mine blow up, then I'm just gonna have to go to Amazon and buy them. You know, it's like impossible to go to a thrift store and literally look for your shoe size and hope to find it. Like, it's just impossible. The ones that I got actually came from an REI garage sale, and I'm into like those for like 24 bucks or so. So it just goes to show you that you can actually live and experience an amazing life based upon thrifty measures, because that's what it comes down to, right? The more money you can save, or like the more experiences you can have under your belt, I mean, the more you win at life. I think so, right? Some people think the more money you have, the more that you win in life, but that's completely false. Don't ever think for a second that that's the truth. It's totally not. Okay. The person with the most experiences will win. All right, so I have 2 bags. I am eventually going to build a bag guide. Honestly, if I get enough people telling me build the bag guide, I will build it, okay? So I'm going to show you 2 bags today that are going to be pretty good. Both of these bags are probably going to sell right around the $100 mark, okay? $80 to $100 mark. Let's just put it that way. Both of these bags were about $10 or below, and they're great, right? They're freaking sweet bags. This one I'm about to show you is the 3rd I have found of this brand, and it's a hard brand to find, but once you find it, you're pretty much in the money. You're doing pretty good. So the brand is this. No, nobody ever, like, I talked about this like many years ago, and the second time I found it, I talked about it again. And today, upon walking into a Goodwill, I was like, holy crap, like, there it is again, right? There's one. So this one was sold to me for $5.40. And this is the brand right here. It's called Bihn. Hopefully you can see that. See that one little airplane in the front? All right, so the reason why Bihn is such a good brand is because it's made out of like super, super high tenacity nylon, and it's basically ballistic fabric. So it's really hard to destroy this. This is a laptop bag, travel bag. They have weather stripping on most of their zippers, and you can kind of tell how used a Bihn bag is just by the weather stripping. So if the weather stripping is pretty good and doesn't look all yellow and has cracks in it, it's pretty decent. This one is in, I would say, 7 out of 10 condition, because when weather stripping first comes out, and for the first year, it's pretty much black and has a little sheen to it. It's a little shiny, right? A little bit. So this one right here is not as super shiny, but it doesn't have the cracks yet from like extensive use. Now, what's cool about the Bihn bags is once you get inside of them, you really get to see kind of this ballistic nylon, which is cool. It's basically ripstop. And if you don't know what ripstop nylon is, so anytime that you see this kind of stuff, and you might see it on some older North Face stuff, you'll see it on some Kelty things. This type of fabric is really, really hard to destroy. It's extremely hard to rip, and it's actually got grids in it. I don't know if you can see it, but not just the white parts, but beyond the white parts, there's even a grid going on behind the scenes. And the grid thing, ripstop nylon basically is like if you get a tear in it, it'll rip to a certain tiny amount and then it'll stop. It rips and stops. So like if you have a hole or a puncture, it's good because it ain't going to spread the rest of the way towards, you know, the end of the bags or anything like that. Much like if you get a star on your windshield, you know, sometimes those things can grow within a couple of minutes, a couple of vibration, whatever in your car, or you wake up the next morning, it's been a cold morning, and all of a sudden the crack is like halfway across the windshield. So this is kind of like the same mentality with other bags like JanSport bags. You get one rip, the thing just starts to rip all the way through. With a bag like this, you know, you rip it and ripstop nylon is there, so it stops the rip. Like, so the rip will only ever be like 1/4 of an inch at best, because these little pleat square, whatever looking thing stops the rip. Pretty cool, huh? But you didn't know that. So yeah, this Bihn bag right here, there are, I don't know, 10 to 20 models of Bihn bags. I would assume that this one's probably in the $100 range, like right around $100 bucks. So we'll see. I have to find like a comp, but even if you don't find a comp, this is basically a travel laptop bag. It's going to fit a basic 15.6 diagonal laptop. Did not come with the shoulder straps, but I don't think anybody's really going to care, because they, you know, people that are into these kind of bags will use them for years and years and years and years and years. So much better than like a stupid Targus bag or a Brent Haven or any of those dumb bags. Like, you don't want that. Like, you want to get something high quality. It'll last you forever. You spend the money. These things are hella expensive. I mean, crazy expensive, the Bihn bags, some of them. So check it out. Yeah, and I did find another bag. So that was actually the very first find of the morning, which was crazy. And then my brother, who was getting antsy to leave the second Goodwill that we were at, and here's the thing that we were talking about on a show last week. Me and Reagan were talking about thrift store tips, and you can go check out that show. It was last Wednesday on my channel or Reagan's channel. I don't even know, but I think it was my channel. But I specifically talked about this tip, specifically. You know, I talked about it, not in detail, but I remember mentioning it. So if there's ever a line in a thrift store and you have your item in your hand and everything like that, there are a couple things that need to come to your mind. One is start scanning the item that's in your hand or the items that are in your cart, because there's nothing worse than like being in a line at the thrift store and you whip out your phone and you're on social media and all this kind of stuff. Then you buy the stuff and then you come home and you realize, oh man, I made a bad buy. Like this one has a weird smell, or it has a tear, or something's not, incomplete. And then you got to return it, or maybe the return policy isn't that good wherever you live for whatever thrift store you bought the item at. And so anytime that there's more walls involved with getting your money back or reconverting your money back, it's extra work, right? You have to find yourself at that same store, and a lot of times it can fall through the cracks and you can end up donating the item later on. Like it's just something that you can't resell. So I was in a line today. My brother was in a line. I don't know why, but he didn't have anything. He had nothing in his hands. I had one item in my hands, which I knew was good. It was those Pearl Izumi shoes. I was like, all right, I already scanned them. They're good. And then the line was just kind of not going very fast. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Not out of here as in the store, but out of here like I'm going to go peruse some more and see if I missed something. So I did like a second and a third sweep. And on like the second sweep, I went to the bag section, which they really had like 2 bag sections in this Goodwill. And I saw this up against the wall. And I was like, holy crap, like how did my brother miss this? So anyways, this is a bag right here. I'm telling you, man, bag section is crazy overlooked in thrift stores, man. I don't think they've trained the bag people, the people in the back to spot bags. I mean, gosh, I have found, what did I find like 2 weeks ago? Like an Orvis bat and kill. Like I seem to find bags I seem to find them like every 2 weeks or every week now. Like it's just one of those places in a thrift store where they have not trained the employees enough to find the good stuff, right? And it's just almost it's a perfect way to get easy money. I mean, easy money. So here is a Cata bag or Cata, and the label has changed, I think, since then. But this could be the same label. I'm not 100% sure. But this bag Cata is a brand that is closely associated with camera bags. So, when you're hustling a Cata bag, you're in the vicinity of like Lowy Pro and things like that, or Tamrac bags. But the thing about Cata bags is they actually have they hold their value really well, as opposed to some Lowy Pros and some other ones. I mean, when you have a bag that actually has a zipper sleeve protector, it's like a little garage for the zipper. I'm not even kidding. So check this out. There's a zipper right here, right? And you open it, you put your little SD cards, whatever, and then you zip it up, and then the zipper goes into a protective little sleeve thing like up here. Isn't that weird? So little things like that. You'll always know that you have a camera bag. If you're like suspecting that, is this a camera bag or not? You open just the compartments and take a look. And if you start seeing dividers, like Velcro dividers that you can shift around and stuff. So you can see right here, I opened up this bag and we got Velcro dividers. And people put lenses in those. They put camera bodies in those things. And that way it keeps the camera equipment from hitting each other when you sling the backpack on your shoulder, when it's going through travel. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why that is there. Plenty other, there's gonna be like a million different pockets in these camera bags. Some are gonna have like a rain shield on the bottom somewhere. This one might have it, might not, I don't even know. It really doesn't matter. Some of the really good ones, made by Lowy Pro, made by Cata, will have a place for your laptop, which is this laptop sleeve right here. And then there's always gonna be like a kind of a main compartment where you can put other random things, tripods. Tripods typically go on the side of some of these. Like here's a tripod strap right here. Like you can put the tripod through here like that. And as you walk around, like the tripod's sitting right here. And then we have, there are a couple little micro stains in here. It doesn't really matter. Like I don't think anybody's gonna care. And this is where you would put like, really big zooms or something like that. We have a lens cleaning cloth right here. So clearly, this is definitely a camera bag. So this one is probably going to sell for between 80 and 100 bucks all day. We got into this bag for $9 out the door. So that's pretty good. Definitely learned this brand, Cata, K-A-T-A. I'll show you that thing one more time. And I think it's pretty good. Yeah, pretty solid. So that is today's finds for 2 hours. We had a radio-controlled tractor pulling car. We have a Cata, camera bag. We have a Perplexus little marble looking thingy right here that my brother's going to resell. This thing. We have a Yahtzee that's going to go to Amazon. Tom Bid bag right there. Some XL Pearl Izumi mountain biking shoes, and those 2 chairs that you don't get to see, but actually if you do want to see them, there is a picture on my Bonafide Hustler Facebook that you can see where we shot a picture of the 2 chairs in the middle of the parking lot. with the Sabres thing in the background. Like it was just kind of drizzling, but we shot this picture. It's pretty cool. You can go ahead and caption on it. It's on my Bonafide Hustler Facebook right now. All right, so check this out, guys. If you are down to like learn more items to resell, because that is really what it comes down to. If you want to make more money in this game, if you want to make it work for you, if you want to be able to afford or save a little bit for that next vacation, the next car payment, maybe you want to, pay off your house faster. The amount of items that you know about if you are a thrifter is only going to benefit you. So this is going to be a selfish kind of a drop right here, but I'm going to tell you right now to go check out the first link down below for 100 amazing items to resell. This is a guide that we were once charging some pretty good money for, but we give it out for free so you guys can learn, so we can also build a relationship with you guys behind the scenes on an email thing. But go check it out. Go get it for free. It's a PDF download. It gets it right to your phone, all right? And let me know how you guys like it. Now, I want to take a second to ask the people in the feed, who has the guide and what do you guys think of it? Do you have the guide? Have you found anything from the guide? Let me know. We specifically designed this guide to have 100 amazing, not just random items that you'll never find. We have it specifically designed to, so you guys can learn 100 amazing items that you can find, more bread and butter type items, the things that will make a majority of your month, right? So take a look at this guide. Please go check it out, go download it, and have fun with it. Put it on your phone, study this thing left and right before you go thrifting, before you go garage sailing this season. I mean, it's a lot of fun. You can, if you study that guide really hard, I don't see, and you have a decent amount of thrift stores and pawn shops around your area, whatever, garage sales, yard sales maybe, I really don't see how somebody that studies that guide can't make an extra $1,000 a month. A complete beginner, right? A complete beginner. I just don't see how that's impossible. Like it's very easy to make good money as long as you know what to pick up. So I'm going to read a couple comments from the feed real quick regarding this guide, hopefully. Jockme 4FRE3 says, get that free guide. Lots of bread and butter items on there. So there you go. Flipping FNG says, I got the guide. I use the guide and I love it. Cool. Eric Albers, it's been very helpful. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, man. Jennifer Peltier says, I have it and it's a huge help. We should probably charge for that again. No, I'm just kidding. In the sun by the beach. Oh, Eric says, thanks for the info, Chris. I appreciate it very much. You guys are the best. Oh, here we go. Raking Profits in the chat. He's my business partner. You can go check out the guide right there. It's sitting in the feed. You can go actually, the link is sitting there. Alexander Manuel says, I got the guide. Road to 200. I like your game plan. Keep leading the way. You got it. Real Nick ATX says, Flipping FNG. That's a great name. Jock Me 4FRE3 says, I love the guide. The Nerf guns and the Guitar Hero controllers are my bread and butter. That's pretty cool. You can make some serious cash with Nerf guns and Guitar Hero controllers from that guide. The Guitar Hero controllers, if you really want to supercharge your learning on that, honestly, in the Green Room, which is our private group behind the scenes, it's a website, plus it has a Facebook group. But there is a Guitar Hero Bible that Eric actually built, Eric the College Picker, who you will see tomorrow battling Rally Roots on a thrift battle number 7. But anyways, I digress a little bit. Yeah, Eric built a guide about 3 or 4 years ago. It's called Exploits of Life. It's the Guitar Hero, literal Bible of Guitar Hero. What games to pair with what controller, how to decode what you got, and how to really get it prepped and everything ready for Amazon, and how to make big money on Guitar Hero controllers. Because it's not uncommon to make, if you pair the right controller with the right game, it's not uncommon to be somewhere between the $60 into $100 category really quickly, with a majority of the majority of the ones that people are looking for. So anyways, that's really, really interesting. You got to see it. It's in the Green Room for free. So yeah, it's sitting on the website. Go get it. Make Your Life Better says, I still need to read it. Thanks for a reminder to do that. I'm going to start looking for bags. Yeah, the bags, don't just start buying crazy bags just because, you're in the bag section and you want to make some money. It's a strategic hit. You got to know what you're looking for. It's really important, which really makes me want to build this guide more than anything. And I'm going to build it for you guys. And in fact, I found like a template builder, which is going to make the bag guide look like that much better. And it's only going to really cost me not very much to make it, but the effort and the hours behind it is what cost me, right? So I don't know really what to charge for the guide or whatever, but just rest assured that when the bag guide comes out, you guys have to pick it up, okay? Because I'm going to make it to where the first bag that you pick up, that'll pay for the guide plus 3 other guides, right? That's what I'm targeting. So that price is going to be somewhere in this $10 to $30 range. That's all I know right now. That's what I'm thinking. But it really depends on how much time I put into it. Because if I go psycho into the bad guide, it's probably going to be a little bit more closer to 30 bucks. But if I go leaner into the bike guide and then less editing, then maybe more 10. I don't know. We'll see. So love to hear you guys' feedback on that. I can't wait to, get this stuff shot, pictures good and everything like that, and get the stuff boxed up. So that way tomorrow, if I decide to go thrifting, it's a clear slate again. I'm ready to go. And that's one of the best things about Road to 200. It's really attacking the business at a high energy standpoint, not just spending all freaking day like thrifting. And I understand some people out there might not have it as good as me, but I don't have it as good as some other people too. So I have to deal with traffic situations, potential traffic situations, which I don't get into, but that constrains certain things. I got to deal with certain distances, right, here and there. But I know some people have it better than me, so I'm not trying to build any excuses. And I don't want you guys to build excuses too. But I do know out there some people watch my channel, they're in rural America, and they got to travel maybe 30 minutes to a town or an hour into a town. I get it, okay? So, but for the large majority of us, I think we have a pretty good understanding of what's around us and what we can make money on. And that's what Road to 200 is all about. It's like making hot shot decisions, man, like going out to thrift stores, maybe two hours, like high energy, maybe 3 hours. And, really taking it down to a business level and going, how can I do this as quickly as I can with the highest amount of quality and get the most amount of money out of this project? And that's essentially what it's coming down to. So I like making these videos for you guys. YouTube pays me to also make them, not like YouTube directly, but, the ad revenue really keeps me kind of excited to make them. And they're fun to do too. But it's all about sharing, right? It's a sharing kind of thing. And if I can share with you guys more things to make money on, the more Facebook messages I get behind the feed saying, dude, Bonafide, you're so right about this. Like I found one and I flipped it for this. Dude, I had a guy in the green room yesterday saying, thank you, Bonafide, for teaching me about bikes, for making that bike guide or something like that. And got a bike from a friend. He was just like, yeah, you can have it and sell it. And sold it on eBay for like $900 something. So, and yeah, I was just like blown away. But anyways, it specifically was like, thank you, Christopher. And that's what I do. Some of the things that I do is to, make sure to share the wealth, because there's no reason to just keep it all for myself. There really isn't. Let me give a shout out to the Flippin' FNG. Oh man, this is good. All right, so the Flippin' FNG just tossed me 10 bucks, which is, all right, so people are trying to get me drunk tonight, right? So Bonafide Beer Money, 10 bucks from Flippin' FNG says, the bad guide seed money. Your info is so valuable because it's more than just brand names to be on the lookout for. That's right. And that's why I do what I do. I do what I do. It's important to teach you guys. Like, I don't want to just hand you fish. You'll sit there and go, okay, cool. Like he said one brand and that's great. And then you might remember it. But if I teach you about why something's important, or why weather stripping zippers are important, or what is a ballistic nylon, like what is ripstop nylon, you start to see it out in the wild and you start to realize, oh, like only good brands use that, right? Or only the highest end of the brand's model will use that. And that's important to know, because when the real people want to use some of these goods, they will shell out big money for them. And when some of these goods have that higher end stuff on them, it just creates a much better market for you. When you go to eBay and you list your item, you're not competing with like 500 other people to sell your item. Like you're competing with a nice group of people that are not undercutting each other. And, based upon the condition of your shoe, a buyer is going to come and just look at it, or the condition of your bag. A buyer just comes, looks at it. All right, I already know what I'm looking at. I know I want this model. There's 20 or 30 in the marketplace, and those pictures look the best. Like, I'm going to take that one. So I like that. It's less competition, higher returns, 100% higher returns if you go for the right stuff, and just overall happier customers, like less spinning your wheels, right? You don't have to sit there and go provide measurements for clothing and stuff. That's one of the main reasons I don't do clothing, is because just all the measuring and all that, I don't want to mess with that. But I like dealing with fun goods that are energetic, that keep me all pumped up, right? So that's why I do. That's why I do the Road to 200. The Road to 200 really, for me, is more structure. It's more discipline on my side. It's more like applying my workout discipline to my reselling business. And if you guys know me behind the scenes, or you follow me on Instagram, not for the Bonafide Hustler thing, because there's no Instagram for that, but there is an Instagram for my Bod Damn channel, which is my workout channel, right? If you follow that on Instagram, Bod Damn, you'll see that there's a high amount of discipline in there, and there's a lot of tip sharing and this and that, and like a lot of outdoor stuff, right? And that's discipline, right? It takes a lot of discipline to get fit, to get ripped, jacked, whatever, and get that perfect summer body. That takes an intense amount of discipline. I mean, ridiculous amounts of it. And I'm taking that same amount of discipline to my reselling business. I realize that most people are like, dude, you just work out all day and that's all you do. You're in a gym. No, honestly, like in the morning, 5 hours a week, I'm in the gym for an hour and 15 minutes a piece, right? Okay, it's not that much. And then I go ride mountain bikes or I skateboard or whatever, like during the week. And that might be anywhere between 15 minutes all the way up to sometimes an hour or whatever. But I am soaked up in this activity and I love it. And everything else is just diet, sleep, stress reduction, and those are all the things that come together as the discipline, right? And so you take that to eBay, you take that to Amazon or whatever your business you're running. If you can take that same discipline to your business, then you start to run it like a business, right? Then you start to get the results, like your body got the results. You start to get those things and you start to realize it's fun and it's addicting. And I think that's what most people need in the YouTube community as resellers. They need to get that fire back. They need to get more energetic about going out, finding good stuff, not just run-of-the-mill items. So that's what my Road to 200 is about. And if you're down to join it, and apply it to your situation or your store, don't go to 200 items like I'm going. Like, just bring it down to a reasonable amount, or try to find enough items to achieve a reasonable amount. But don't go into this like listing 100 items a day kind of thing. Like, just don't churn and burn, right? Do it the smart way. Save your time. And then take that time that you saved and open up another revenue channel, all right? So that's pretty much what I'm telling you. Is like, take this time that you save by hunting really good items and then study something else. Jock me a couple more remarks here, and then I gotta go actually ride a bike. And it's raining right now. I know this for a fact, but I'm gonna go ride a bike. I'm gonna put my raincoat on, I'm gonna put my down jacket on, my raincoat on, some pants, some waterproof pants. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna get rained on, and I don't care, because that's just my discipline. So, JockMe4FRE3 says, "Boom! I just sold a Guitar Hero controller for $60 that I bought from Goodwill for $3.50 thanks to the free guide." I'm not kidding. It's in the feed right there. Hit the like button for Make Your Life Better. What's up? Teach a man to fish. You know the rest. Thanks for the teachings. That's from Highway 19 Designs. We have Adam A517, I already clicked the reminder for Thrift Battle. I see everyone there tomorrow night. One of the things that I never ask you guys to do is next to the subscribe button on my Bonafide Hustler channel, which is the channel you're on right now, there is a bell next to it. I think it's to the left. It could be to the right. But if you hit that bell, then you're going to get notified on all the shows that I do, which is kind of cool because if you actually can show up live to the show, then higher chance that you're going to get your comment read or a remark read or something like that. My channel is to the point now, or the interaction with my channel behind the scenes is to the point now where it's very hard for me. And it happened rapidly. Like in the past 2 months, it's like something just happened. I don't know if YouTube's pushing my channel out more. I don't know if it's just because like me working on keywords and stuff behind the scenes every now and then has like really ramped up. But something's happening. And it's getting to the point now where it's very hard for me to get to people, back to people. And so the ones that I give kind of priority to as of this time are some of the people that reach to me behind the scenes on Bonafide Hustler Facebook. But I read every single comment that comes through YouTube. So, the more comments I see, build a bad guide, or love the Road to 200 thing, then that's great. I'm all about that kind of stuff. But it's getting hard to get back to people on YouTube. It's getting kind of difficult. So I want to, right? But I can't spend I could spend all my day getting back to comments, and it would take a while. Okay, like it wouldn't take a while, but it would just consume a pretty decent amount of day. I would much rather allocate that portion of the day to quickly reading the comments and then build the bad guide, giving you guys more value, that kind of stuff. Okay, let me answer a couple more questions. If you got any more questions, I'm gonna do 5 or 10 more minutes. Okay, so if you have questions like regarding Road to 200 or anything else that I talked about just now, let me know. Oceana Flip says, always inspirational. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. Juan Santana, what's up, brother? Hey, Juan, what's going on? Hopefully, this is the Juan Santana I knew from many years ago from Florida. So what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well, dude. It's important to look for an item number inside is it important, or it's important to look for an item number on the inside of a bag, figure out the material, for example, calfskin leather or something like that. Yeah, so, certain manufacturers of bags are going to have like numbers and things inside, and you'll be able to tell the composition. But this bag right here, like, clearly says ballistic nylon on the back of it, so I know that already. It's really, most of the bags, not most of them, but a large majority of bags that you'll find in the bag section will be nylon bags. And then some will be pebbled leather, Some will be suede. Some will just be obvious. If they're backpacks, they're almost always nylon. A customer's like hardly ever going to care if it's nylon. It's clearly leather. Like when it's leather, it's clearly nylon when it's nylon. And if you put nylon as your keyword, nobody is looking for nylon backpack, like 0 people. So don't waste your keywords on something stupid. You know, pick good keywords. And here's another thing. Don't ever really kind of pick your keywords, like always sell similar or sell one like this. I found myself the other day, I don't know why, because I think someone was kind of jacked up on my eBay. There was a little, how do I say it? There was I guess a glitch. We'll call it a glitch because I have no other way to explain it. So there was a glitch on my eBay thing, and I had to recreate a listing for some reason, like, which is super rare. I had to like recreate a listing. I'm not talking about a relist something. I had to actually create a listing from scratch, like a drag and drop. So I had 2 listings open up, and I did a drag and drop. And I realized when I pressed the sell button on the top right corner of eBay, I was like, I couldn't even find it, first of all, because I don't ever just press the sell button and make a listing. I never do it, never, okay? So I'm always finding someone else's listing and then pressing the sell one like this button or the sell similar button. So I realized, like, when I pressed the sell button, I was like, dude, I haven't done this in like 4 or 5 years. Like, this just seems so foreign to me. Like, creating your own listing, like, who the hell does that? But I never do it. And so when I started like creating the listing, it's like, holy crap, this is so weird to do this again, because when you do a sell similar or sell one like this, that listing is almost pre-filled for you, almost all the way. So you have to go in and adjust a couple things, but the keywords are pretty much super hot already. Whereas on the other flip side, if you create your own listing, now you got to guess the keywords. Now you got to figure out, how can I get the customer to see my item? Even with the best pictures, if you have crappy keywords, it will not matter. So that's the reason why you do want to do sell one like this, or sell similar, just so you know. But yeah, I found myself yesterday kind of laughing because I couldn't find the sell button on eBay. So anyway, Adam A517, glitch on eBay, no way, LOL. Here's another glitch that kind of sucks. I have to honestly like terminate all my sales before I do my sales again. Like, it's just so annoying. Because my sales that run, even if I run a sale for 14 days all the way up to 30 days, for example, and I relist a couple times within that sale, those relists never get pulled in. I don't know why, it just never happens. I have a super glitch on my side, I guess, but I have to terminate the sale, relist all my items, wait about 3 or 4 hours, and then make another sale. It's super annoying. But that's another thing that I don't like about eBay. And I really don't want to spend time calling them up and like letting them know about it. You know, it's just a hurdle and it sucks, but like, whatever. What do we got here? If you hit that thumbs down, I hope you fall down some steps. Pretty funny. You should get people to send their bag finds to you to help you make the book. You know, I'm going to make this book based upon the ones that I found. What's up, Glenn? Good to see you. I'm going to make the bag guide based upon all. I'm going to go back, you know, probably 8 years in the pictures, in my picture reservoir or whatever. I have couple hard drives with pictures, and I'm going to go back and hunt down like all my bag pics, and then probably resize all of them and all that kind of stuff. That's what takes time, because I can talk about those bags like no problem. I can write it out, no problem. But finding the pictures is really the hardest part about it, and resizing every picture to make sure it looks good. That's going to be the hard part, and cropping and all that. So I'm going to go back about 8 years and so, and I'm going to like, you know, show you guys like all these bags like that I found, and it's going to help me remember all the ones that I used to flip or still flip, but there's some really cool rare ones in there too, which I definitely want to put in the guide. And so the guide is definitely not going to be encompassing, okay? So that's one thing you got to remember, but it's going to show you so many successful, awesome flips that when you get out there in the field, you're going to find some of this stuff, guaranteed, because there's just no way. Like, I've been around the country, and I've looked at bag sections around many Goodwills, and the bag sections are they're super overlooked. I mean, and you can find good things at bag sections all across the country. So, question, Chris, what percentage do you recommend for sales? It's really up to you. Like, I'm somewhere between 25 and 20 to 25 or 30. You can't pick any betweens, but 20, 25, 30 is what I mess with all the time. And when I do a relist, I honestly take, now I'm starting another strategy behind the scenes, but I'm doing a $1 or $2 off every relist. And every time I relist something, I'm doing $1 or $2 off on a blanketing approach. So if you have a store function, you can like relist, and it's like brings all your items, and then you can click that little far left arrow check mark thing, and it highlights all of them. You take out the ones you don't want to apply to this certain thing, but if it's a $1 or $2 less kind of thing that you're doing, I don't see how it would matter. It would matter. So on every relist, I'm lowering my prices by $1 or $2, even if there's a sale going on too. So that's just something I'm doing just to see if it spikes my listings. Nevermore Antique says, yeah, I do the same thing. When I relist, I just take a couple bucks off. Cool. Yeah, and Alexander Manuel says, that's what I do. They end up selling. Question, sir, how long do you realistically get stuck holding the bag till it sells? That's a good question. So Clearance Ninja, if you're buying the right kind of bags, it shouldn't take that long. The ones that I have in my garage that are still there are ones that I like. These are long tail holding out for like super premium amounts of money. Case in point, I have a $1.50 or a $1 Polo Ralph Lauren proprietor bag, all leather, bloom. I think it's like somewhere in my store. It's somewhere in the $700 or $800 range in my store. So you can see that I spent $1 on it. I'm really willing to wait a year to flip it for $800. Like honestly, like, so that's taking a little bit of space in my garage, but that's essentially my mentality. If I want to go for a fast turn, I can have a little bit more money wrapped up into the bag. Now, these two bags right here, the Cata and the Tom Bihn bag, for example, are probably going to sell within a month. It could sell within 2 weeks. So that's like the play on those. Those are kind of a little bit more short-term bag flips. And when you have amazing, amazing bags that you've paid next to nothing for them, I like to hold out for like the right buyer personally, especially for like the super awesome ones. So right now in my garage, to me, I have like one really, really awesome one, which is that Ralph Lauren one. And then I have some randoms kind of sprinkled in there. So anyway, yeah, Clearance Ninja says 800. Yeah, there's one of my bags that's on my store that's around the $700 or $800 mark. And I'm only like $1 into that bag. I found it at a garage sale on a Friday. Not about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, something like that. It's got a lot of watchers. I need to probably redo the listing a little bit because at first it got a lot of watchers, and it still has watchers, but it's just not as. It had a lot of watchers at like $1,100, which was nuts, a ton. And then I bring it down to 800. It's got fewer watchers. I don't really get it, but it's that rare, right? When someone with the money has that thing, it's gonna be some little mini rich dude. Like they're totally gonna want to buy it. Like so, that's why I'm holding on for that thing. For video games, should you be like at the lowest price on eBay? Well, all the video games I sell are going to Amazon. What does it cost to normally ship a bag in the USA? So if you ship a bag with structure to it, meaning a bag that has some sort of a frame to it, internal frame backpacks, those are going to be the most expensive out of all of them to ship. So when you're making the play on those, you really have to think hard. Either I'm selling this thing locally or I'm going to sell it on eBay. And typically, if I list it on eBay, it's going to get cross-listed on Craigslist and OfferUp and the other ones because you'd be surprised. Well, I live in Austin, Texas, and you'd be like, it's not many hiking people there. Yeah, but a lot of outdoorsy people live here, and they buy hiking backpacks to do hikes in other states. So, big things like that, I can sell like no problem. Patagonia down jackets, sold one like a week and a half ago, no problem. Just put it on, Craigslist and put it on eBay. It was a cross-listed item. But to answer your question, for most bags to ship in the USA, I live in the central part of the USA, Austin, Texas. It'll take priority mail, 10 to 15 bucks, like JockMe4FRE3 says. And that's about right. I would say that's about right. Question, do you price to be the lowest, somewhere in the middle, or the top end? In any market that I assess on eBay, on the eBay app, I'm always doing, sold listing, sort by highest, and used typically, because it's kind of hard to find a new with tag bags, like honestly. So sort by highest, used, and what has sold. Okay, so those are the filters you got to kind of filter down to. If you got the bag in your hand and you want to cross check it with eBay, don't ever check it with the current market. I mean, that's the second thing you should do, is to see if the market is saturated currently. I do that sometimes, but if I got a good bag and the price is good, it's like $5 or maybe like $9, and I'm thinking, man, this thing's gonna sell for like 100, then I try to go for that 100. I try to be in that $80 to $100 mark. And that's just where I want to be. Even though the spread might be at 50 to 100, the people at 50 and 60 might be in different cash positions than I want to be in. They have crappier keywords. Typically, it's like a lack of keywords. So I'll hold out for that 80 to 100, and typically you can get it if you have the right kind of keywords, better pictures. You can get that. I got a question a month and a half ago. Just a random question came in from someone in the green room. I know his name, but anyways, shout out to Lee. And he sent me a question. We talk on Messenger sometimes, but he said, Bonafide, explain to me how you get over market price for nearly everything that you sell on eBay or something like that. Now, that's not the truth. Like, I get market or above or high market and above sometimes. And he was like, can you explain it? He's like, I was running through your listings. He's like, and you are literally at the peak of the market, or sometimes you exceed the market price, or you're the top. And I said, it just comes down to keywords and really, really good pictures, you know, and finding the right items. That's the most important thing. You could have the greatest keywords, the greatest listing, and a common item, and that sucks. Like, you don't want a common. Like, you want something that's, you know, unique enough to command good resale. So anyways, Vancouver Flipper says, thanks for the reply, Chris. $10 to $15 is cheap. Canada Post is extremely expensive and would be difficult to be competitive. It just depends. Like, you know, certain bags out there are easily in the $100, $200 category. If you're getting them for like $1 to $5 and the shipping's like 30, for example, into the States or whatever, you're still making money on that. So you got to kind of play it as you see them. What else we got here? Any more free shipping or charge shipping? Oceana Flips. I always do free shipping, always. Adam A517, be careful, Chris. We're going to start calling you the bag guy or a bag man. Most people call me the bag dude or whatever. Let me see what else we got here. Percentage to you. Okay. Any more questions? What do we got here? Any more questions? Man, I got $15 in Bonafide beer money. This is going to be a challenge. Yeah, that's cool. I thank you guys so much to the people that have donated. What do we got here? Jonathan Rivera, another shout out to that person, and another shout out to the Flippin' FNG. So that's cool. Is Amazon going to come to Austin? It's a really good point. When I was at my Super Bowl, my friend's Super Bowl party that was by the airport. I think that's the plot of land where Amazon is thinking about getting into when they come to Austin. So Amazon's considering moving a considerable part of their headquarters into Austin, Texas, which for that person's neighborhood is going to increase the traffic. It's going to bring 50,000 jobs to Austin. This is speculation, something like that. And that's a lot of people. That's a lot more people in town. It's a lot of housing that has to be built for these people. And so in the surrounding and immediate areas, they're going to feel that effect. The property taxes are going to go pretty much through the roof. So while it's a good thing, it's a bad thing too. Yeah, but Amazon having a hub here or whatever, that's also a promising thing, because right now when I do FBA shipments, my stuff goes to Dallas, and that's crazy cheap. So I can't imagine if it goes to Austin, like, is it any cheaper? Because I already think like for a 20-pound box or a 30-pound box going to Dallas, or even sometimes closer to 50, like, this thing never exceeds $10. It's insane. I cannot believe it sometimes. So, you know, you pack your boxes full of items and then it's like $5 or $10 shipping charge. Like, that's just bonkers to me. So it's so heavily subsidized with UPS. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Clearance Ninja. Well, yeah, Clearance Ninja, as soon as they come into town and start breaking ground, your house will increase in value literally overnight. When an Apple came down the street from me, right? I live about 1.5 miles from Apple, right? Something like that. About 1.5 miles. I was to run, I'm trying to think. That could be like 2 miles maybe. But still, 2 miles away is Apple. And it's like, on the way to the mountain biking track, one of the ones I go to, like, I pass by it all the time. It's like a little Apple campus. I don't know. It's not their headquarters, obviously. I think that might be Palo Alto, but it's, you know, it's pretty big. And it's got, I mean, it's kind of funny because the neighborhood that borders my neighborhood is the neighborhood that the Apple, you know, place is at, or it borders that neighborhood. So when I go riding into that neighborhood, here's kind of a crazy story for you. You'll see a perfectly good house, kind of like my house. You'll see a house, and then you'll kind of peek, like as you're riding around, you peek into the backyards of their house, and all you see in the edge of these neighborhoods is this behemoth of a parking garage. I mean, it's just like, it's so tall, and it literally looks right into that person's lifestyle, like their yard and everything. And that's the nature of the matter, is that when these people come into town, they just freaking storm through. They get a big piece of land. They don't care who's around it. They affect all the traffic around it as well. It really sucks, you know, but it does drive the prices of the houses up quickly. So in my scenario here in Austin, Texas, I've been maxed out for like the past, what seems to be 3 or 5 years, meaning I get taxed at the maximum amount now. That's possible because the house value just keeps climbing. I think it's like the last 3, maybe 4. I don't think it's 3 to 5 years, but it's been a lot. So like I look at my property appraisal, and it's like, and it's like impossible to contest it because all the comps around here are just selling for more. So it sucks. Anyway. So people want Amazon to go to their town. I'm telling you, it's good and it's bad at the same time. It can get really bad for property taxes for sure. Corinne is asking, will you be adding any other streams of income to your business this year, like merch or drop shipping or anything like that? I don't know if this stuff is going to pay, but I'm going to be putting my videos on 2 other platforms more than likely. I'm going to see not the validity, but I'm going to take a look at potentially moving with the help of a VA, a good amount of my videos to DTube and to Twitch if possible. So I'm going to look into that. And that's going to take some prep because it's going to require me more than likely uploading the videos in a unlisted status and then her doing like all the keyword stuff and the titles and all the other random stuff that has to be done. That's something that's a project that I'm thinking about, but I don't know if that's really money oriented. It's more like exposure oriented. But there, to think that YouTube is going to be the end of the end for platforms on video streaming, no way. There are definitely some rivals that are coming out of the works that might affect YouTube. So I think Twitch is going to be one of them. I mean, Twitch already on the gaming sense affects YouTube completely. And then DTube is kind of interesting, which I think has some relation to Steemit. And I do have a Steemit account or Steam something account, whatever. I have that account and I have posted videos there, but it's impossible to do it all, So I have to be able to have a VA involved to do all the keyword stuff and all the titles and get everything right and the thumbnails. And then I could probably manage the back end of it, which is, answering some of the comments that come through some, different channels and stuff. So that's one of the things I'm thinking about doing this year. So I know. So one person says, how do you monetize Twitch? It's interesting because Twitch is typically a streaming platform, which you can get paid as you play video games. So that's going to be interesting. I'm just going to put my stuff there. I want to see the options of putting my stuff there to where when they start allowing monetization, this or that I am already poised, whatever, to getting a piece of that pie, right? It's just no different than like people building the infrastructure for grow houses before Colorado legalized weed, for example. I mean, there were at least 3 to 4 big players that were building these big places, getting the land ready and the buildings ready and everything ready with the lamps and everything. And as soon as that thing they knew it was going to pass, the infrastructure was ready, and they all became multi-millionaires, and some became close to billionaires. But it takes, really seeing the future, to do it. And I'm not saying I can see the future, but YouTube is kind of like Amazon to me, and it's getting more and more restrictive, which sucks because if you're a small-time channel trying to make money on YouTube, it's getting really hard to do it. So thankfully, my channel has passed the monetization program requirements, but my other one, the workout one, didn't, right? It's kind of interesting. So I'm pretty sure one day it will, but for right now, I know it's not qualified for it. I'm still going to post a lot of workout videos because it's just exposure. And yeah, you're just going to spread. Basically, the idea of exposure is to spread all your seeds as wide as possible. So if you're going to create the video, if you're going to edit the video like I do, you're going to definitely want that video and that file plus the thumbnail to go as many places as possible. It only makes sense. Do I game? No, but I have a feeling I might one day. Super Tiger, what are all my income streams? Well, that's for another broadcast right there. So I hope I addressed Corinne's comment right there. Doesn't Amazon own Twitch? I think. And I bet they do monetize in the future. They already monetize now. If you do live gaming, you can get donations like I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, people can donate to people on Twitch. Okay, so cool. I guess that's pretty much it. So I've done enough on this show, I think. I try to make shows close to an hour or something like that. I told you guys in the beginning of the show that I was going to go for like 30 minutes or something. Of course, Q&A starts getting crazy. Here's a question that's coming in. And I've thought about this. But Rudy R says, would you ever consider mentoring? Yes. I have considered that. In fact, I considered it yesterday while I was packing up stuff. I've considered it a lot. But there's only so many things you can do, right? I really want my workout channel to like be a really big piece of my life. So that's probably the biggest thing I'm working on this year, besides Road to 200 and besides the green room. That's a big piece of it. So I'm building something behind the scenes right now. In fact, I'm building the equivalent of this thing behind the scenes for the workout channel. So that's coming out soon. If you're a male and you are wanting to put on muscle or lose fat or learn some amazing exercises that you need to be doing, that should be part of your monthly arsenal in the gym, this guide is going to help you out. Now, fun fact, I'm actually 80% done with the guide. I still got to shoot all the pictures and everything like that, which should be done hopefully tomorrow or the next day. But that's what I'm working on. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty proud of it. It's neat. And I think soon you'll see me on one of Raken's shows as well, on his Rake and Profit podcast thing. So that's coming out. Make sure to listen to that when you see it. So Clearance Ninja, do I have a profile on bodybuilding.com? I do, but it's like it's impossible to like put all this effort into so many places. So I'm going to kind of hone in, and I urge everybody to hone in on something, or maybe 3 things, right? Like, maybe one of those things is your job. Like, make sure you do well on that, because that's the money coming in. But if you have something like eBay and Amazon and Craigslist and Etsy and Poshmark, like, you got to know which ones to let go of, right? And you can't do it all. It's impossible. You cannot do it all. You might be able to do it all if you train a VA like really, really well, but it's really hard to do that. So you have to kind of pick your battles and pick which ones you have the most energy for, the ones you would most likely continue and not get discouraged with, and go with those. So I know that the quest for the workout channel and all that's fun, keeps me fit, which I'm always fit, but like, it's just another way to keep me fit. It's awesome. And there's so many people out there that need help that it's the perfect thing to invest time into. The green room is an amazing place for resellers and people that want to meet up in real life. I have never seen so many people meeting up behind the scenes than 2017 and 2018. And we're only like 2 months into 1 month into 2018. And there are so many people meeting each other in the green room. It's crazy. So that's a pretty big piece of like what I want to work on this year. And I got to execute a really awesome meetup in Austin, Texas for resellers when they come down in June. And then, just making sure that I crank out good content for you guys and build this bag guide. Like, I think that'd be really important to build out. It's a smaller niche kind of thing, but dude, every thrift store's got bags. So I got to like make sure to get this bag guide out to you guys. And then, in conjunction with the workout channel is the private label stuff, which you can kind of see right here. In fact, I'm wearing one of the hats right now. That's a piece of the puzzle that's, pretty much done. It just needs to pass a couple more things and it's ready to go. So Make Your Life Better says, wouldn't the same tips for male stuff apply to women? It would. It just depends. Like, it just depends. Like women's, yeah, it depends. I wish I could just say it so simply in this broad. It would take me like 30 minutes or an hour to like really explain it all out. But anyways, I guess that is, oh, here we go. Oceana Flip says, a goddamn reselling youth camp, mentor of the future. If I could have my perfect life, it would definitely be some sort of a motivational, like lifestyle kind of person, like to really bring people from like the dumps out to like realizing their full potential. Because that's really what it comes down to. Because if you can make someone realize their full potential in life, they can take that knowledge and that feeling and execute anything to, become profitable, or to attain more love, to, just feel like you're worth it. And I feel like a lot of people out there don't know their inner worth. And that's important, because there's either you're living a life that's been given to you and you're just taking the hits, or you're taking the life for what it is. And, it's not so much like 50 Cent, get rich or die trying, but it's like, know yourself or die trying, right? Like that's basically what it is. Like, there's so many people that just let life run them. And there's so many out there that would love to reverse that around. And they have thoughts in their head like, I know I can do better, like next week, right? I should be getting fit because I got to be there for my kids later. Those kind of things, very important kind of thoughts, but they don't know where to start. And so I see truly like as my perfect goal in life would be to be like a lifestyle mentor. Like, that's just something that I would 100% like enjoy. And it's something that I have lived since I was young, So anyways, I must be tired. Your dogs are barking. No, honestly, the barking, and I know all you guys out there and gals are going to agree with me on this. But if you've got dogs, tell me they don't bark more in 2017 and 2018 because of all the Amazon trucks that are coming around. I mean, dude, it's insane how much more Amazon people are in the neighborhoods flying around on their cars or their white vans and stuff. It's unbelievable. In this neighborhood, I live in a neighborhood that I think a couple years ago, maybe even last year, was considered the second most popular zip code in America to live in, or something like that, or the hottest zip code. That was what it was. It was like in Forbes or something like that. But my zip code is like the one or the two. I think it was like number 2. So that's not good. Like, that's good, but it's not good. It means like just people are moving here and you know, bulldozing how, you know, redoing houses and just increasing the values for all of us. And that just kind of sucks for a long-term kind of person like myself. But it's good because it brings like a wholly different character to the neighborhood, which I like. And then when businesses see that a neighborhood or a section of town is doing really well, they try to bring their stuff there. And so here in Austin, Texas, local companies are starting to sprout around my neighborhood, and these really good local joints to eat at, and beer gardens, and all this like really cool stuff is starting to come around this neighborhood considerably. So I like that part of it. I do. I don't like the traffic part of it. Anybody that lives in Austin can definitely agree with me. And I don't like the property tax part of it, but you know, if I'm going to hold out for this town, I eventually, and this is just, I'll say this right now on air, I eventually will move to Colorado. That's just hands down. So that's coming. I don't know when, but I know that is definitely at the forefront of my thoughts, like all the time, is like, I got to get myself there. So that's coming. I don't know how long it's going to be though. It's, I don't know, 4 or 5 years from now, who knows? All right, so I guess that's pretty much it. Guys, you got to tune in tomorrow, by the way, because we're going to have an amazing thrift battle coming tomorrow. It's going to be super awesome. So thrift battle tomorrow is between Rally Roots and the College Picker. And if you watch this, you know, way after it's shot, look for that video, because if you're enjoying the bolos and the stuff I showed you in this video, you're going to love that video because it's going to show you 10 amazing finds. College Picker is going to put up 5 awesome finds. Rally Roots, Ali and Ryan Roots are going to pull up 5 finds. They're going to battle it out to the death. There's only going to be one winner, and you got to show up to that show. So promise me, I got 77 viewers in the house. Look, if there's an hour of your time that's super valuable tomorrow and you want to watch it live, I'm going to tell you right now, take that hour that you're going to be listing or something and watch this show. Okay, it's going to be good. Tomorrow is going to be a banger of a show. I need you guys to be there to vote and tell us who wins the thrift battle, because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be close, because I personally think we have two of the best thrifters on the show. They're super good. I can attest for Eric, and I've watched Rally Roots videos, and they're both super, super good thrifters. And I know they're going to bring some crazy fire tomorrow. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, this show is going to go down live on Rakin's channel, and you got to tune in, okay? So that's pretty much it. I'm out of here, guys. I'm actually going to go ride in the rain. I am actually really stoked about it. And yeah, after this, after that, I'll I'll take some pictures really quickly. I'll bag up all this stuff and box it up, put it in my garage. And tomorrow's another day. Maybe I'll go thrifting, maybe I won't. We'll see. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to hit the like button, like Rudy R is saying. It is 7 p.m. Central on Rakin's channel. And if you're in Eastern, it's going to be different. It's going to be 8. And if you're in California time, I think it's 5. So plan accordingly. You know, if you're on the highway stuck in traffic and you're in California, whatever, you can stream this show. It's going to be live. It's going to be awesome. I want you guys to be there. All right. Take it easy, guys. See you later.